The Crew 2 in-game photography shots of the week. Yes, welcome back to the channel, fellas. Welcome back to the channel, fellas. So as promised a little while ago, as a fan of photography, picture taking, in-game shots, all of that good stuff, I'm going to take the opportunity to showcase some of your work captured in-game to the rest of the world. The good folk over at Ivory Tower really have stepped up their game this year by adding more functionality to the in-game photo mode and just giving you an all-round better experience and a more fun and enjoyable way to express yourself creatively. So first things first, we're going to start off with GZILLA out of the gate with the camber screaming RX-7. What I like most about this picture is the way how he's got the car framed up offset from center, really emphasizing and exaggerating how aggressive that camber stance is on the front wheel. He's also using the natural lighting within the game really effectively to almost highlight the detail of the actual rim, the tire, etc. If you look really closely, you can see all of the little contours, nooks, crannies, bolts and screws holding it together. Really nice picture, man. The next picture he's taken is from sky level with some stunt plane action. Once again, the actual subject in question, the plane, is not centralized, it's actually offset, which gives the picture a more dramatic effect. The use of the raindrop effect helps with this as well. What I like is the way he's got this sort of filter going around the picture. It's almost like you're looking through a telescopic scope of some sort. And as someone who's studying the picture, it allows me to focus heavily on two things: the actual plane itself, as well as that sense of height as it overlooks the city. Nice picture, man. The third and final picture that I've selected from his little showcase is another plane-based shot. As you can see, it looks as if the plane's doing a nosedive. It could be halfway through the middle of one of the actual stunt challenges. I believe there is a stunt challenge where you do a nosedive. I like the fact that we're around cloud level, and also it looks to me as if he's using something known as a bokeh effect. So as you've probably seen on modern day smartphones, if you take a selfie on the selfie cam, you've got the ability to blur out the background, giving it a more sort of artistic and professional look. It's almost as if that's what's going on here, because the plane itself looks extremely sharp, which does a really great job at increasing the perceptive depth of field. Right then, next up we got LALO, and kicking things off with his Murcielago. Plumes of tyre smoke pouring out of the back. It looks like the Lamborghini is halfway through a drift, given the fact that the front wheel is actually at an angle. Once again, a really good use of sharpening the main subject and blurring the background to make it stand out a bit more. I'm not sure if it's just me, but when I first saw this picture, I got Need for Speed Pro Street feels in my mind. The front cover of the game with that GTR. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Anyway, moving on to the next shot, what you can see here is a Drift 370Z Nismo edition, it looks like, alongside the Murcielago. It looks like they're in some sort of drift-based battle on the track. I really am a huge fan of these mid-action based shots, emphasizing the sense of speed and adrenaline. Looks like there's a little bit of color grading going on there, almost as if he's removed a lot of color away from the actual background to push both cars into the foreground, which works well. In fact, it works very well. Inadvertently, a positive effect by doing that is it now makes the headlights of the cars become more prominent as well, with their big xenon lights beaming down onto the track, acting like the light source for the photo. Next up, we've got DJINN BANTER, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest, this is probably the best shot that I've seen taken in the game so far, because it's so simple, it's saying so little, but it's saying so much at the same time. That's the irony of it. If there was ever a photo worthy of an icon or a legendary car, this is the style of photo it would be. You knew exactly what car that was the minute you saw the picture, just by looking at those rear lights. Yes, of course, it's the glorious, marvelous Nissan Skyline R34, blacked out silhouette in the shadows, chilling, calm, smoking a blunt, waiting for its next victim, waiting to strike. Feels like a predator. Such an imposing photograph. It's almost as if the car is saying, you don't need to see who I am, you know who I am. I ain't got to show my face, I'm already on the guest list, yo, I'm VIP, I own this biatch. You know those scary movies whereby there's someone in a forest and it's completely black, and then all of a sudden there's a whole load of like leopards or hyenas or whatever with red eyes, they open their eyes and you can just see them in the distance. That's what I'm seeing here, man. Love it. Next up, we've got one of the moderators from our Discord. Yes, it's Mr. ISOZAKI with his M Series BMW, full body kit and all. What I like about this picture, first and foremost, is the way that it looks like it's an evening shot. It looks like it's been taken at around dusk, evening time, say 7 o'clock when the sun's setting. You can see little subtle hints of golden sun rays just spraying through the windows and on the actual floor as well. The other thing I like about the picture is the fact that he's actually got his avatar in it. And as you can see, his character is appropriately dressed with the exact same decor as the car itself. Next up, we've got Midnight Rush with his classic 67 Shelby GT500 track car. Now, to the untrained eye, this just looks like a standard, plain, basic picture. However, there are three things here to look at which Midnight Rush has got perfect. First and foremost, it's the use of shadows. When taking pictures in sunlight, sometimes the worst thing that can disrupt the actual subject itself is getting your angles wrong with shadows. So sometimes you could have a long shadow on the left-hand side whereby it starts to darken out the actual car and you don't get to enjoy the panels, the bodywork, the frame as much as you would do under normal circumstances. What I also like is the way that he's actually got the shot at a slight angle. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to make a static image which is standing still have any type of dynamism within the shot, but by tilting the camera angle slightly, it allows us to enjoy the car a little bit more and just adds a little bit of flair. A nice touch is the fact that he's got the tyre facing outwards towards the camera, allowing us to get a good look at it, look at the profile. We can see that he is currently running full slicks, no tread whatsoever, not road legal, sir. In the second photo, which is a rear end shot, what you can see is once again he's utilized that angle to good effect. Now, there are shadows in this picture, but the good thing is that those shadows are not being produced by the car. They're obviously being produced by the trees overhead, and there's enough sunlight coming from the front to keep the car itself fully illuminated so we can enjoy the prestigious detail such as the spoiler, the rear lights, the air vents, even the rims as well. Nice work, son, nice work. Next up, we've got Primordial Ace with the new shape Shelby GT500 muscle car, and look at it, it looks like it's movie night in Manhattan. I love the way he's got this framed up with the Welcome to Manhattan sign at the top, very symmetrical. These nighttime shots look really good. The rear lights reflecting wonderfully. He's using a combination of blur effect along with raindrops to make this shot really feel like a postcard. Nice. Trashmaster J introduces us to American muscle versus wildlife. Wild boar, ox. Not sure what that is, but as you can see, we are seeing the world's first drag race between car and animal here, but it looks like it's in a rush to get home. Who knows, maybe it's mating season, I don't know. Once again, just like the previous photo, he's given his image a sort of like postcard-like feel with the border he's got going around the outside, a sort of dirty, smoky feel, which matches the color of the car. Nice consistency going on there. In his second picture, it looks like he's deployed the use of the exact same frame style for this menacing shot of two hatchbacks. We've got the Ford Focus RS and the Volkswagen Golf. I like the way how he's removed all of the color from the background itself, and with the cars he's used a sort of like a pastel color, something that's not too sharp, not too hard on the eye, something that's not too saturated, so it's in fitting with the whole feel he's going for. It almost gives it a sort of retro and modern look at the same time, a very difficult effect to pull off, but he's done that nevertheless, and he's done it well. Right, now we've got LOKOPIXO, who changes things up dramatically here with a cartoon caricature look of his modified drift spec RX-7. I'd imagine it's a drift spec. Looks like there's a little bit of camber going on there at the front wheels. This is something different. This is like something that you would rip out of a comic book. Plenty of black and white there, using the different types of effects to their full potential to create what can only be described as a unique look. I don't see many people putting together shots like this. I haven't seen many people use this cartoonistic style before, but I like it. It stands out very much so. Next up, we've got the rally-inspired Citroen C3. I believe that's a C3. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I'm not too fully clued up on my Citroen, but nevertheless, a rally-style hatchback. What I like about this picture in particular is that you really get a sense of speed, adrenaline. I like the fact that he didn't remove the dirt from the actual car itself. As you know, this is a rally-based car, so it makes sense. It's fitting for it to be dirty, muddy, and have particles all over it. Really good picture. Almost looks like a promo picture taken by one of the specialists when marketing the game. Next up, we've got QBERT 42, and as you can see, he's clearly a fan of superbikes. Popping a wheelie there. Looks like he's actually around the Vegas Strip area, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that does look like the Vegas Strip, it indeed does. But what I like about this picture is the way in which he's got the sun rays actually coming through the center. I'm not sure whether or not that was actually a natural shot or whether or not that was something he added in, but it just adds a little bit of subtlety to what otherwise could have been quite a harsh shot. I also like the friction being emphasized by the sparks at the back of the bike as the bike is hitting the road surface. The next picture, as you can see, is plane-based action. I like the creativity that he's working with here. He's got the smoke pluming out of the back, going around in an almost semicircle-like fashion over that bridge. I'm not sure what bridge that is, but I like how this shot has been framed up, playing in the distance, emphasis on the smoke, and a beautiful scenic landscape shot. Once again, he's utilizing the sun ray effect. One thing I'm going to say, QBERT, not just to yourself, but anyone who sends any photos in, please try to ensure you do not have the Crew 2 logo in the bottom of your picture, because it really takes away from the artistry that you're putting out. So please try to remove that in the future, but nevertheless, really nice shot there. Extra points for creativity and originality. And there you have it, guys, a collection of photography put together by you guys. Thank you so much for sending me these shots in. I really enjoyed looking at them, going over them. If your shot did not get featured in this small gallery, don't worry, there's plenty of time. I'm going to be doing more of these things on a regular basis. If you want your shot featured on the channel, if you want to have a chance of it, I should say, join the Discord. Link to it will be in the description, and send it to the appropriate channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you when the next video comes out. Take it easy. Peace.